I'm the Hood Trucker, and this is the Hood Trucker News. Welcome. We appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way in. If you're joining live, if you're on the replay, hit the like button anyway. Hey, go ahead and check out that, hit that join button. You know what I'm saying? We need some support with the channel. That's a much appreciated. You get exclusive content. You get live and direct videos. I don't know about live, but you get direct videos. I'm talking to you. Giving you the heads up on what's going on and stuff like that. So exclusive content. So as you see, Nikki Haley and Fani Willis. If you don't know who Nikki Haley is, she's running for president. She's I think she came in third in the Iowa caucus. Uh, Second to DeSantis. Uh, Actually, second to behind Trump and behind DeSantis, came in third, right? Fani Willis is the one that's prosecuting Trump. So these are tied in because they're all related to Trump, right? So here's the thing. Nikki Haley, she recently she was been in the news for a couple things, right? Recently, she said that America is not and has never been a racist country. I totally don't disagree with that. And she's also more recently in the news because it's alleged, and when I say alleged, I mean they got affidavits from the side dude that she was cheating on her husband while he was deployed, fighting for his country. I mean, you're going over who knows where he was deployed to, but I mean, the least that you can do is cheat on him when he's at home. Why are you gonna wait till he goes overseas and fight for the country who you're trying to represent, by the way, and you go behind the back of a soldier? Now I don't know if he's what kind of officer or soldier or whatever, but still he's in the military, and you want to represent the country after you cheated. Not only cheated on your husband, which as a Republican, the evangelical vote is very prominent and very important. I don't think that they would like that. Plus, nor they should, because look, you were married and you had side dudes. On top of the fact that your husband was in the military, deployed, fighting for his country, and you did that. And it was reported that it was out in the open, blatant. What did they say? Not coddling, but canoodling in people's laps out in the open. Right? That's not a good look. That's not a good look. And I don't understand how you do all of that in front of people, like out in the open, and then try to run for president and think that none of that's going to come to the surface. It absolutely is. Just like Fani Willis, same thing. I don't know how you're going to be canoodling with your side dude. And the new reporting about that, we just did a live about it yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And the new reporting on that is they have receipts that show that I forgot that dude's name, but we're gonna call him side dude. Side dude for Fani Willis purchased, totaling upwards of $1,000, plane tickets, to which Fani Willis was the passenger, was the guest, or whatever they said. It's on the receipt, and those receipts were produced as a result of his divorce, to which the day he got the job is the day he filed for divorce. So I mean, I don't know what's going on. I mean, these are prosecutors, and these are elected officials cheating, and it's important because Like, okay, so if you cheat on your deployed husband, that's one of the most despicable things you can do. Cheat on your husband while he's serving his country. And then, although Fani Willis wasn't married, it's important to note that if you are in the process of a divorce, you're not divorced, so you're still married. And Fani Willis was canoodling, as they call, with the side dude who she hired as the lead prosecutor in the Trump indictment. Not only that, he was the highest paid. So is that a coincidence that, number one, they have a relationship? Fani Willis does. Number two, he doesn't really have a lot of experience, and probably the least out of the three that were hired. He got paid the most. He also canoodled to San Francisco and I believe Miami with her on his dime. The dime that he got from Fani Willis. So the Nikki Haley thing is notable because, number one, again, the Republican Party claims to be of, the family values party or whatever, right? Okay, and these are two instances where Fani Willis, I believe, is more Democratic leaning, if not a Democrat, and then Nikki Haley is the Republican. She's in the Republican primary running for president. So two completely different parties, just as much corruption to go around. Even if the Fani Willis story is not like corruption, it's just, based upon, like she said, she was lonely and the only dude she could really find was in the office. Even if it's just that, it's still bad. Like, you can't be like, I mean, like, I would never even have a romantic relationship with somebody I work with. I don't care if I worked at a tow truck shop. I'm not doing that because I don't want none of that. Because listen, what happens during your off time, and if you're dating someone who you work with, that off time can spill over to the on time and then end up jeopardizing your job. That's happened to me before. Not just because, or actually not because I was dating somebody on the job, but because somebody would threaten to go up to my job. That we had a disagreement, romantic. I was in a romantic involvement, and we had disagreement. She threatened to come to my job and do something. So, look, I mean that's amplified if you're working with somebody who you're romantically involved with. You just shouldn't do it, especially on that type of a level. You're talking about a prosecutor that can always come back to bite you in the behind, right? You got people who you may charge with a crime to have a large, large resources, and they'll go dig up that stuff. I mean, it just so happen. I mean, the records were sealed. Maybe that's why, they felt protected because the divorce proceedings were supposedly sealed from the side dude and his wife. The one that Fani Willis was associating with. Their stuff was supposed to be sealed. Well, apparently, the legal team of the co-defendant of Donald Trump, and I forget his name, but apparently they pushed the issue and even probably conspired with, possibly. They're alleging that the ex-wife of the side dude to Fani Willis, I know it's complicated, conspired with the Donald Trump co-defendant to unseal the previously sealed divorce paperwork, proceedings, that kind of thing, so that they could use it against Fani Willis. Now, is there any love lost between the side dude of Fani Willis's ex-wife and Fani Willis? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Of course not. Even though it is rumored that the reason why the side dude wanted to divorce his wife anyway was because she cheated on him with the best friend. I mean, look, there's no honor among these. And there's no honor among side dudes. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it is what it is. So, Fani Willis, Nikki Haley, they got side dudes. Both of them are elected officials. She has to be elected to DA, right? Elected official. She's an official. So Nikki Haley used to be the former governor. They said this was going on right around during that time. Will it affect her necessarily? Who knows, right? Because, look, if you're dealing with a Donald Trump that did everything under the sun. He didn't got, I mean, he's being indicted all over the place. He's gotten found guilty for falsely doing the loan paperwork in New York, and he's on the verge of getting a massive judgment against him there, hundreds of millions of dollars, being banned from doing business there for all of that. You know, he's been found liable in a civil case that involved E. Jean Carroll and some type of sexual misconduct between the two of them. I don't want to say what it is, but we all know what it is. And he was found guilty. And now they're in trial again for defamation because he's speaking bad about her. Now, listen. Again, this is supposed to be the Family Values Party. And it's supposed to be, because it's the Family Values Party, there's a large showing of evangelical presence in the party. Now, you got to overlook all your values and principles and all of that who supported Donald Trump. And if your values and principles supersede what you might get from Donald Trump, meaning tax cuts or some type of policy, that's the same thing that these black actors do when they put on that dress. You know what I'm saying? You sell your soul. I don't know why Donald Trump being president again is so important that you would just sidestep your values and your principles. Because if you're an evangelical voter, you can't possibly condone being indicted all these times. You could say, yeah, they, it's Joe Biden is election interference and all that. You can say that, but how do you reconcile that excuse with the fact that he was indicted by grand juries, which are regular people? They were handpicked, probably. I mean, you could come up with any excuse, right? But come on now. You got people running around saying Donald Trump told us that was going to happen, and it actually happened. Could it also be true, or could it also be possible that he knew that he was going to lose because he didn't think he was going to win the first time? He knew that he was going to lose, right? And then he prefaced the loss with something that he could say, because he knows his followers, something that he could say that it would be believable to them, even though he claimed election fraud. He lost in 60-something federal cases, that a lot of which, or most of which, were judges that he appointed himself. So I don't know how you reconcile that other than stick your head in the sand. You stick your head in the sand and you just, I don't want to hear nothing about Donald Trump. That's what you do. That's what you have to do. Because there's no logical, rational person that's going to believe that everything that has to possibly be corrupt is happening in all parts of the country to go against Donald Trump. You have to be a lunatic, an idiot, or just someone who just to flat out want Donald Trump to be president, and you just stick your head in the sand and you don't want to hear nothing, which is a lot of the case. A lot of Trump supporters, I wouldn't classify as the sharpest tools in the shed. Let's just put it that way. Because of their responses that they go around and they ask them different questions about different things, and a lot of times they just repeat what they've heard or just make up stuff on their own. Like, and then when they get to a point where they can't even answer the question, they just run off. And these are Trump rallies. Trump rallies are not very diverse. We could all see that. Especially when you got Confederate flags running around, you got all these different symbols and all that of racism, to which Nikki Haley says doesn't exist. Not that it doesn't exist, but that we're not a racist country. Now, she points to the founding father says we're all created equal. Okay, then how did black people end up 3/5 of a person if we were all created equal and we're not a racist country? How does the Ku Klux Klan go virtually unnoticed when the whole country is in uproar about Black Lives Matter? How is it that it's a thing that the first black president wasn't until the 21st century? Nikki Haley touts that I was the first brown person or something to be governor or something like that. If you're not a racist country, why in the 21st century is that even a thing? So you speak out both sides of your mouth when you say that the country wasn't born on racism. Like, okay, you had slaves, which is racism. Caucasians enslaved black and brown people. That's racism, right? You say that these minorities, what black and brown people, are indentured, and that other segments of the society can own these people. That's racism based upon race. That's racism. The disparity on how police people, black and brown people, they're treated differently. They're judged differently. They're sentenced differently. There's voting. You have to have a voting rights act. If you are not a racist country, why do you have to have a voting rights act? Why do you have to have a Rooney Rule? The Rooney Rule is in the NFL, where you have to interview a black or brown person before you hire. You have to, all these different things. If that's not the case, why do you need any of it? Why do you need affirmative action? Why do you need a HBCU? Why do you need all these things if it's not a racist country? Of course it is. Of course it is. Again, people don't like to hear that. La, 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 I don't want to hear. I just got out of a situation where somebody was doing something wrong, right, to me. And when I pointed that out, basically did the same thing. Why are you saying this? And why are you saying that? Why are you beating up on me? And this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. They didn't want to hear it because people don't like the mirror. People don't like to look in the mirror, right? But my thing is this. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong so I can fix it. I don't have a problem with that. See, my ego's not fragile. So I have a problem with that. Like, if I'm doing something messed up, let me know. If I feel like I want to fix it, because sometimes I do stuff on purpose. If I feel like I want to fix it, or if I value whoever you are enough, I'll fix it. If I don't, I won't. But here's the thing. I don't mind being told that I'm a this or I'm a that. I don't care. Because I know who I am. And I don't have a problem hearing that, right? If I'm of a certain political affiliation, I want to know the bad stuff. I don't want to stick my hand in my ear and la 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 la. I don't want to hear it. No, I want to hear it. So some people just pick a side, and some people, because they pick that side, they have to go with it. They have to be that. They have to live it 100% because people don't like to be wrong. If I'm wrong, so what? I'm not perfect. Since when did I mean, I'm not Jesus. I'm not perfect. We used to joke if Jesus was a pitcher, would he pitch a no-hitter every game? You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect, right? So I want to know if I want to improve, if I want to be a better person, then I want to know what I'm screwing up, and I want to know that. So a lot of people are not like that though. They get so fragile. They get so their ego is so fragile that they don't even want to know they're screwing up. Okay, then listen. If we're friends, I don't want no friend like that. If I tell you, hey, you constantly drink all the beer up or whatever, let's say, right? Won't you buy some beer sometime? No, I don't. I don't drink up the beer. You do. Okay, well then we're not gonna be friends then. Simple as that. I don't have time. I don't have time. So, but a lot of these Trump supporters, a lot of these Biden supporters too, also, like they stick their head in the sand because because the Biden people don't want to be Trump. The Trump don't want to be Biden. They make up all these different excuses for different things. Like if you look at the Republican Party and you ask them what woke is, they don't even get it. It's gender this and gender that. No, woke means that you're not finna pull the wool over my eyes. I'm woke. I'm not asleep. So the Republican Party bashes the word woke because they like when people are asleep. Because then you can be like Donald Trump, tell you that the election was stolen, and then because y'all sleep and don't believe anything, you believe it, and you run with it. That's why they bash the word woke. If you look up woke in the dictionary, it's it's common sense. It's the opposite of sleep. So if you're bashing woke and then putting these goofy things on it, like they say, somebody said one time, I forgot where I heard it, but they're trying to bash pimping, right? So they said you're not a real pimp unless you take it in the butt. I don't know where they came up with that, and in my time I've known many pimps. I don't think any of them take it in the butt, but that's what they do to muddy up the whole concept. Now, pimping is pimping wrong, absolutely, but to say that is dirtying up the profession, right? Just like some of these other things they say about other things and other places and whatever else, right? You either believe it or you don't, or you don't want to hear it and you stick your head in the sand. So this dude got really close to my truck right now. So that's what you do. So here's the thing. I don't think that this would hurt a Donald Trump because Donald Trump is so popular, and I also think that women in general are subject to a different standard, no matter what. Like if a man is promiscuous and a woman is promiscuous, the man is looked differently than the woman would be. A woman would be looked at in a negative way to both men and women, but to men, a promiscuous man means he's a player. He's got a BD energy. You know what BD stands for? I want to say, you know what I'm saying. So it's looked at differently. If a woman is great, like I'm salt and pepper or whatever, and I'm getting more salt and pepper right now. But if a woman is salt and pepper, she's looked at differently than a man. So that's just how it goes. So Nikki Haley is probably going to get more backlash than Donald Trump would, because Donald Trump's still running for president. And they've even said, even if they convict him of felonies and they send this to prison and all that, if the Republican nominee wins, that they're going to pardon him. That's incredible. And it's a real thing, and they talk about it all the time. Like, how is that even possible? This dude, and then they come up with the excuse, right? They come up with the excuse. Do we really want an 80-year-old ex-president in jail? That would just divide the country. Forget what he did for us a crime. They're saying they wouldn't lock him up because we don't need an 80-year-old ex-president because it would divide the country. Let an 80-year-old dude slap your child. You're going to hurt him, throw him in jail. Let an 80-year-old dude SA, and that's an acronym. SA, your husband, I mean your wife or your child or something like that. You're gonna be hurried up and throw them in jail. Let's say that somebody who's not Trump did exactly what Trump did. They put Bernie Madoff. Matter of fact, perfect example. They put Bernie Madoff in jail. Bernie Madoff didn't do that but steal people money. They threw him in jail. So if Bernie Madoff only stole people's money to the tune of hundreds of millions and billions, right? But yet Donald Trump has had falsified records to the banks, which is wire fraud. He got wire fraud, mail fraud, all kinds of stuff. He then SA'd and got found criminally liable, E. Jean Carroll, along with some other accusations. He then said on a hot mic that he would grab him by the coochie because they let you. He got away with all of that. Still going, still in trial, still getting indicted, all that. They might even have some new charges by the time it's over with. And it's crazy. They're just trying. They just don't want him to be president. So you could just stick your head in the sand and run with that. So it's unbelievable. But yes, Fani Willis, Nikki Haley, side dude energy. And look, if the men do it, why can't the women do it? But neither one of it is wrong. Neither one of it is right. Because especially, I mean, come on now. You gonna cheat on your husband while he's deployed on, and he's overseas or wherever he was. Come on now, that's crazy. So, but she's delusional anyway because she thinks that America has never been a racist country because the forefathers said we're all created equal. Okay, but how do you explain 3/5 of the person, which they actually wrote on paper? How do you explain the Civil War, where half of the country wanted to continue to keep slaves? Guess who those slaves were? They weren't Caucasian. So that's the Hood Trucker News for today. Stay tuned. Again, hit the like button. Join the membership. It helps us out. With this, it will give you exclusive content in return. We appreciate you. So, till next time, it's the Hood Trucker for the Hood Trucker News. Take care.